Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We're continuing our look at the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. What we got here is Storm. So Storm is Aquaman's loyal seahorse steed. I never thought in a million years I would have a seahorse in my collection, but I'm so glad I do. This is one of the most phenomenal add-on accessory beast mounts you could think of. I am so damn impressed with the sculpted details, the paint, and the value you're getting. I paid $33 Canadian for this, and I thought for sure it would be $49.99 or $50 because this is one solid piece of plastic. I was actually walking this back from the mall at GameStop back to my vehicle, and this had a substantial weight to it. I was so shocked, and like, not a hit on GameStop or anything like that. It's just the way the times are. If you want a bag now, they're charging $2 for a bag, and I have no interest in paying $2 for a bag. So I just carry this out. I have no qualms. I'm not embarrassed or shy about anything. I'm a very outgoing and assertive person. So me walking around a mall carrying this Aquaman steed, Storm, and a couple Aquaman figures, I got a lot of looks. I got people asking me, hey, what do you got there? And I'm like, yeah, new figures from the Aquaman series, picked them up at GameStop. And they were like, wow, this is so cool. And there was a couple that would just keep staring, looking. They wanted to say something. They're like, what the heck does this guy have in his hand? But they didn't. And hey, whatever, that's cool. I'm so happy I bought these figures, and I'm so glad I added them to the collection. This Aquaman wave has been so impressive so far. We reviewed all three figures: Aquaman in his traditional costume, stealth suit Aquaman, Black Manta, this guy here, Storm. Gonna eventually get King Kordax. I need that black trident to give to Black Manta. For some reason, he has that on the artwork on the back. And I've seen some videos, it looks really damn good. Sunken, I'll probably get as well when it goes on clearance. I don't think that's going to be too popular. But this one is damn awesome. So this has some fantastic sculpt work. The detail just looks absolutely amazing. The eyes, the gold trim on all the armor looks so nice as well. The radiant colors, man, the transitions look so great as well. The fins have a bit of shading on them. The tail, just the sculpted work looks so good. And of course, Aquaman sits on this guy perfectly. It's perfectly scaled with these 7-inch figures. And man, it just looks awesome. Like, I just really appreciate all the paint work, the detail, the sculpt on this harness and chest armor looks so good. Very impressive, guys. Like, man, I can't believe how good this is, considering it's, you know, a steed. And it's just, man, it surprises me. I'll say that. Now, for articulation, it's not super articulated, so that's a bit of a drawback. But I'm going to try and position myself a little bit better here so we can get a better look at some of the articulation this guy has. Now, it does have this ball joint here. So I'm just going to pull Aquaman off for a second. So it does have this ball joint here, which connects to this nice display stand. It's got this metal pole here. Now, I do suggest, guys, be really careful. You have to use a lot of force to get this in, and I thought at one point it's gonna break. So I'm like, no, we're gonna try something different. I heated up this section here. I used a hairdryer. I don't like using a hairdryer, but it did make it a little bit more malleable and softer. And I was able to insert this ball joint, this peg, right into the socket on the bottom of the belly here. Now, it needs to be extremely tough, and it needs to be extremely strong to support the weight of this creature. It is damn heavy. It has some really solid chunkiness to it. This is not hollow. This entire body is solid plastic, so I definitely appreciate that. The extra support from the display stand is greatly appreciated as well, because, man, I've had this, I've played around with it. It does not wobble, it stays in a position, and you can still move it around into all sorts of positions, and it doesn't get loose. So that's phenomenal. Absolutely appreciate that. The tail as well. This was a segmented piece that just pushes into the body. It does have a little bit of articulation, not a lot. The wings, man, these wings are awesome. They are absolutely beautiful, these fins. They have a really beautiful paint scheme on them, and they are articulated as well. Both will move in and out, so that's fantastic. Now the articulation in the head here, this neck point joint, is a solid piece, so it doesn't move at all. But you have all this articulation in the head. You can move this around quite a bit. Looking down, you have a lot of movement. The jaw doesn't open. It would have been kind of nice if that jaw opened up a little bit too, just to give some extra expression. But you know what? It's not super necessary because, man, you can get this thing in some pretty nice poses. And it just looks so imposing, so striking. This will look absolutely phenomenal on your shelf. I think people are going to be like, wow, what is that? Hey, man, it's Storm, Aquaman's loyal seahorse steed. Looks so good. And like I said, this Aquaman fits on just perfectly. He looks so good on it. Now, the one thing that's kind of holding this back here, for this Aquaman, he doesn't have the open hand. He just came with these sprawled out hands and a closed fist. So you can kind of fake it that he's holding on to the reins. But yeah, otherwise, man, this is awesome. It looks so good. Let's put some other Aquaman figures on here and see how they look. So we got the stealth suit. Let's put him in there. Yeah, that looks really nice too. Really great styling. Looks phenomenal. These two, I don't know if they're going to be paired up together during the movie, but it fits on just great. Let's try a little bit more traditional. We got the Endless Winter Aquaman. So if you want to put your comic book version Aquaman on here as well, that's going to look great too. Sits on the saddle well. You can just position his legs. And yeah, that's fantastic too. If you want to put a smaller character with a smaller body block, we got Aqualad here from Page Punchers, and that looks really great too. I mean, I would almost consider getting a second one of these Storm figures and actually doing a little bit different paint scheme, or maybe changing up the armor to like a metallic silver or something. And, you know, Aqualad could have his own steed as well. I think I might be doing that, and I think maybe some other collectors might get that idea too, because this is just such an awesome display piece. Looks so good. Man, I am shocked how good it looks. And then we got the other Page Puncher Aquaman with the custom head swap we did with the clean cut version. See how this looks. And this Aquaman is actually a lot bigger, taller figure than some of the other ones, but it still looks really nice there too. Man, this is just one of the best, absolute best vehicle beast mounts that Mcfarlane has put out. It is just phenomenally well done. Looks great with a lot of figures. I mean, if you see this in the store, don't hesitate to pick it up, because I think this is going to be one of the killer sleeper figures that people might miss. My GameStop that I went to only had one, and they just opened up these boxes. They just received one. It's a shame. Like, they should have got more of these, man. I think it might be a little tough to find, but it is so well worth it. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think. Are you going to be getting a couple multiple versions of this Storm Beast Mount Seahorse thing? Or is one good enough? Or is this a pass for you? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.